Hello and welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you are so inclined. In today's video, we're taking a look at these, the HS70 Pro Wireless gaming headset from Corsair. Now these things retail for around 100 quid or 100 US, but more often than not these days you get them a bit cheaper than that. But anyway, let's see if they're any good. So let's jump straight in with a mic test. It's the one test I can do where you can just hear it for yourself and you don't have to rely on my awful descriptions of it. But here we go. Now, in keeping with the new style of doing things, I am just going to read the blurb from the box and we'll see what it sounds like. It's a good fair test, I'm sure, and it saves me an eternity, so I'm happy with that. So we'll start with the name. The HS70 Pro Wireless gaming headset with 7.1 surround. Ooh, very, very lovely. It's all about that 7.1. It's not really. Now let's have a look. We've got plush memory foam adjustable ear cups. We have custom tuned 50mm neodymium audio drivers. Fantastic stuff. Low latency 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi. We have a detachable noise cancelling unidirectional microphone. All very lovely. Oh, and it says it has up to 16 hours of battery life, which isn't far off. I got about 14 and I was playing at around 70% volume, so that's not actually that bad. It's just a shame it takes 17 years to charge with micro B following that. It also says we have immersive 7.1 surround. Now as 7.1. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. I guess we'll find out soon. But there we are. The mic, it's okay. It's fairly passable. It's done. I don't want to say it's not stood the test of time because microphones are becoming a much more poignant thing when it comes to gaming headsets, and I'm confident that any iteration down the line from all of the big headset manufacturers will just give us a better mic. But there we are. It's not bad. It's still passable. Let's move on. Now the audio spec sheet for these is fairly standard for gaming headsets nowadays. They're 50mm neodymium drivers, has a frequency response of 20 to 20,000 Hz, so no high resolution audio with this, and the impedance is around 32 ohms, which is definitely the standard now for gaming headsets. Now that's all well and good, but what do they sound like? Now the game in the background, for instance, these things sound absolutely epic. The bass is there, but it's definitely controlled. There's a lot of warmth and a lot of richness to the sound, so on games like Assetto Corsa, the pops and the cackles from the engine just sound absolutely magnificent.
Clear on the right.
On FPS games such as Warzone, footsteps are definitely there, they're definitely clear, they're not massively just thrown in your face, but the direction and the translation to yourself a distance is all really quite good. In single player games like Tomb Raider, the ambient sound was all very, very good as well, but I'd recommend not using 7.1, it doesn't sound good, it becomes very, very confused, but they do sound great. Now, of course they do say the drivers have been custom tuned, and I kind of agree, they have. All in all, for the price, I'm very, very impressed with the audio of this headset. I really am. I weren't expecting them to be this good. So here we are in Corsair's IQ software, and it's all nice and easy to use. As you can see, it's very simply laid out, and there's not a great deal of things you can actually change with this headset itself. But we'll start at the left. So you've got the mic controls, which is basically your mic volume, which I'd never have on full. It stops it from clipping when you turn it down a little bit. And side tone, I just have it on for the purpose of recording, but you can turn it off just by clicking here, and then turn it back on by clicking there, and change the volume of what you can hear your own voice in the ear, so I never really have it on that loud. Then you can switch between stereo and 7.1 surround, and this auto audio repositioning. We also have just here the EQ presets. We've got the standard ones, the bass boost, the pure direct, which is just flat, movie theatre, clear chat, which honestly is ear piercing, I wouldn't use that, and the FPS competition, which actually works rather well when this is turned on. That's what I found. Really simple as that. You can also set your own just by clicking the plus button here, and then you can change any of these to wherever you would like them. Remember, audio is subjective, so you're always going to have your own taste, and it's nice to know that you can have a bit of control over the drivers themselves and what that output actually is. Now up here in device settings, now this is where we can just change a few little bits. Now, checking for updates, I find this remarkably funny. There's no updates and we're on version 0.01. It was good enough at the start, was the firmware, so why change it now? I genuinely appreciate that. And then the case color, which is just how it displays on the screen. I have a cream one, so I might as well have it as that. And the voice prompts you can turn off, but with there being no LED, for instance, on the microphone to let you know if you're muted or not, I definitely recommend keeping those turned on, and then also shuts off after 5 minutes. But there we are, it's nice and easy software. Now in terms of the build of these, they are rather nice. They've gone with that classic sort of headphone design. But we'll start at the top. We've got the wonderful Corsair branding emblazoned across the headband. It's definitely the thing to have nowadays. And then underneath that we have this very, very beautiful looking cream leather with black stitching over the top of the padding on the underside of the headband. Now there's not a great deal of padding there, but the leather itself feels very lush and very comfortable on the head. So coming away from that, we've got the standard sort of ear cup arms that are gracefully connected to the headband via these two collars, under which we've got the standard expansion bar. Now it does have lines and it does have numbers, so you can always remember where you've got it dialed in perfectly just for you. Now on the ear cups, we'll start with the right one. There is just the power switch. On this, it's just a standard depression switch. You hold it down for, again, an unspecified amount of time and the headset will turn on or will turn off, and you do get a voice in your ear just to let you know which one of those it is. Now on the left ear cup, we do have a few more controls. We do have, sadly, the micro B connector. I'd much prefer to see Type-C there. It offers faster charging and it's just better all round. But yeah, I don't like micro B. Next to the micro B connector, we do have the mute switch, which is just a standard depression switch, but it is a good size. You can definitely feel it under your thumb as you're rummaging around the headset to find it. And then we've got the volume wheel. Now, the wheel itself feels really quite cheap, but the way that it glides, the motion itself feels really quite refined, which I'm quite impressed with, to be perfectly honest. Now, on the outside of the ear cup, we have this beautifully aesthetically pleasing little metal grid with the Corsair logo on it, but it actually does absolutely nothing. It's there just to look good. And then we've got that surrounded by this gold trim, which is just there to accent the cream leather and black stitch, which is all very, very nice. Now on the inside of the ear cups themselves, there is a rather generous amount of padding. It's just short of an inch and it's covered with this sort of faux leather, but it is very nice and it is very soft and feels really quite comfortable around your ears. But sadly, on the inside of the ear cup, there's no padding over the driver at all, and your ears do tend to get in here, and I do have rather large ears, but mine still get in. However, it doesn't feel particularly uncomfortable. That's one thing I will say for it, when your ears do sit on the inside. Now in terms of the comfort, this is kind of a massy headset. It's definitely 300 grams plus, but the clamping force is around medium, so you don't really feel that weight. You just feel the comfort as it cushions itself against your head, and it does fit very, very well with the oval ear cups, and I much prefer oval ear cups. It's just more ergonomic for my face, and I definitely prefer it. They definitely sit better. But in terms of comfort, it's rather nice. You don't feel that mass at all, and the microphone just moves wherever you want it. Now sadly, there's no LED indicator to let you know when you are on mute, but you do get a little message in the ear when you press the button, so all very, very lovely. But there we are. I do like the design. I think it's put together very well. There's very few little gaps and crevices, but you can't turn the actual ear cups in, so if you do have it around your neck, you are sadly stuck with it like this and the microphone in your vision, which is quite irritating at times. But overall, I think the design is very nice. I like this touch with the cream leather and the black stitch. It's all very, very lovely. Well done, Corsair. But let's move on. So what do we get in the box with the HS70 Pro Wireless? Well, not a great deal, as it turns out. We get the paperwork, 3 bits of, no less, but that's fantastic stuff. We also get the removable mic, of course, and it is a keyed connector, just to be aware. You can't put this in the wrong way around, and it does have a removable pop filter, but I was always recommend keeping the pop filter firmly on the end of your microphone. We then have this. Now this is the micro B cable. Now this thing is about 1.5 meters long, and you can in fact charge your headset whilst using it, which is just as well, given that it takes about 4 weeks to charge using micro B. Shocking, shocking stuff. And then we have this, the standard Corsair styled 2.4 gigahertz receiver. Now that's absolutely beautiful little thing. It is a bit long, but not too much. The chances of you knocking this out of your computer is quite minimal, given that how actually stumpy that it is. And it doesn't block any other ports either on your computer, so that's all very nice. But there we are. We pretty much just get the headset, the mic, the receiver, the horrible micro B cable, and of course the paperwork. Moving on. So would I recommend that you buy this headset for $100 or less? Yeah, in a word, I definitely would. The fact that you get wireless for less than $100, that it puts it in great company. Don't get me wrong, there are many good headsets for around this price range, but the audio is very rich. for the price, it's very, very good. The microphone, it's a bit nasally, but it is definitely passable. And the fact that it is wireless, it's just the convenience of it makes things an awful lot better. I like the design. I think it looks very good. I like the black stitch on the cream leather. I think that's very good. I like the golden trim, although gold is definitely not my usual colour, but it's all very lovely. I'm really quite impressed with the headset itself, and with Black Friday around the corner, you're probably looking at around 75 to 80 USD for this, and that's an absolute steal, an absolute steal. Now, I will have an affiliate link in the description below for these. I do get a kickback from Amazon should you buy anything via that link, but it does always go back to the channel. But there we are, everyone. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, why not subscribe? But anyway, have a wonderful morning, noon, evening, wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.